The boys are back in action this weekend against Hibs in the league. With us already crowded champions, we might see a few big changes in the final league games. We will discuss this in today's video, whilst going over all the latest Celtic content from the last 24 hours, which includes a potential return for Kyogo. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Simon Donnelly believes Celtic fans can expect plenty of rotation over the final 3 league games of the season, as Brendan Rodgers prioritises freshness ahead of the Scottish Cup final against Aberdeen. With the Premiership title already secured and the treble firmly in sight, Rodgers has the luxury of managing minutes and giving fringe players a chance to stake their claim. Donnelly, speaking ahead of matches against Hibs, Aberdeen and St Mirren, sees this run-in as the ideal window to experiment and rest key figures. This is what he said: "I do think there will be a lot of changes over the 3 games because the cup final is the most important. Guys like Paulo Bernardo, who hasn't had a lot of game time, just give them some more minutes in the legs and create some competition heading into the cup final," Donnelly concluded. Celtic are already being cautious with the fitness of key defenders Cameron Carter-Vickers and Alistair Johnston, with both expected to be held back until Hampden. Rodgers may take the same approach with other mainstays who have logged heavy minutes across a season that's included a gruelling Champions League group and no winter break. That opens the door for fringe and youth players to feature. Young midfielder Jude Bonnar, who made his debut earlier in the campaign, may get another taste of first-team football. 17-year-old Sean McArdle, who made the bench for Sunday's derby at Ibrox, is also one to watch. With the final against Aberdeen just around the corner, maintaining rhythm while protecting legs is a balancing act Rodgers will need to manage carefully. But these closing fixtures offer a chance to fine-tune selection and fitness for one last push at history. Now for the main story, Brendan Rodgers seems likely to now push for Kyogo Furuhashi's return this summer after a major development at Celtic. It's fair to say the Hoops have been flying recently. A 5-0 win against Dundee United on 26th of April clinched their 4th consecutive Premiership title. What's more, the gap, their old firm rivals, has been steadily growing in recent seasons, culminating in the 17-point gulf that currently separates the two sides. However, next season may be a tougher test. Andrew Kavanagh and 49ers Enterprises are looking to purchase Rangers and provide a big boost to their finances and resources. To add to that, a troubling update now leaves Rodgers' front line lacking in firepower, and Celtic will need to address the issue this summer. Jota is expected to be out for 6 to 9 months after limping off against the Tangerines, whilst his teammates enjoyed the fruits of their labour, celebrating another league title. The Portuguese winger has been in exceptional form since returning to Parkhead after a 2-year absence. Not only has Jota contributed with a healthy amount of goals and assists, but his existence on the left wing has allowed Rodgers to use Dyson Maeda as a full-time number 9. While speaking about the winger's injury to Sky Sports, Celtic's manager highlighted the need for the Hoops to become active in the transfer market. "We will definitely have to enter the market, of that there is no doubt, but that was always going to be the case anyway. You are always looking to improve your front line, but there is no doubt that this news really shines a light onto that area of the field for us. The solution to their woes may well be the familiar face that is Furuhashi. The striker moved the other way when Jota rejoined Celtic in January, heading to France for £10 million. However, the 30-year-old has endured a miserable time on the continent, starting only 1 match for his new team and appearing for a total of 120 minutes in League One. Aberdeen's former chief, Keith Wyness, said in March that Furuhashi may be available to Celtic for as little as £3.5 million. Having failed to settle at Rennes, the Japan international may well be keen on a return to Parkhead, where he enjoyed the best years of his career, just as Jota himself rebounded from difficulties after leaving the Hoops. And Rodgers will undoubtedly welcome his former striker back into the fold as Celtic look to quash any sort of uprising that may be brewing in the blue side of Glasgow. In other news, Callum McGregor has leapt to the defence of Engels, backing his teammate to go from strength to strength after an impressive debut season at Celtic, despite recent criticism from some sections of the support. The Belgian midfielder has been under the spotlight in recent weeks, particularly following a quiet showing in the Glasgow derby at Ibrox. He had started well in the match, but fell off and was eventually hooked by Brendan Rodgers in the second half, with Paulo Bernardo replacing him. But McGregor insists there's no doubt inside the dressing room about Engels' talent, temperament and contribution. This is what McGregor said: "He has got massive quality, massive ability. He has got a great temperament and he has scored 10 goals a really good return for his first season. He is only going to get better, which is a brilliant thing for us. For a first season to come in and settle the way that he has, we are really proud of him and happy with what he has done. He has played 10 Champions League games, all these derby games, and a part of a successful Celtic team who are hopefully going to finish at least 17 points clear, and we have another cup final to add to what we have already done. To be a part of it, to be a huge part of it, to have played so many games, then what a really good return and such a bulk of work that he will have that experience and he will come back in the summer and be even better for it, he concluded. Engels, still just 21, has been a regular fixture in Brendan Rodgers' side, operating in a variety of roles across midfield and featuring heavily both domestically and in Europe. Despite the scrutiny, Engels has racked up over 40 appearances this term, including 10 Champions League matches where he scored once and assisted 3 times, several derby starts, and an influential role in Celtic's Premiership title win and League Cup triumph. With one game left that matters, the Scottish Cup final, Rodgers will be hoping Engels can silence the doubters and finish the season strong. And with the full backing of his captain, the young midfielder is clearly still seen as a key piece of Celtic's future. Lastly, Victor Wanyama could be set to continue his Scottish football comeback, with Dunfermline Athletic confirming they are in talks to extend the Kenyan midfielder's short-term stay at East End Park. The former Celtic and Tottenham star signed a deal with the Pars in March after leaving CF Montreal, marking a surprise return to Scottish football over a decade after his departure from Parkhead. Despite a rough start, he was sent off for handball in a 3-0 loss to Ayr United managed by his old teammate Scott Brown. Wanyama has managed to do enough to convince the club he's worth keeping beyond the summer. With Dunfermline securing their Scottish Championship status for next season, attention has turned to squad stability. In an update on Wednesday, the club confirmed discussions with Wanyama are ongoing as they seek to retain his experience and leadership for what could be a crucial campaign ahead. Also included in the update was confirmation that Toby Oluwayemi, the on-loan Celtic goalkeeper, has returned to Parkhead following the end of his temporary spell. The 21-year-old, who featured regularly in the second half of the season, now hopes to fight for a place in Brendan Rodgers' squad next term, and with Bain potentially leaving, he can fight for the gloves. Off the pitch, uncertainty remains over the future of manager Neil Lennon. The former Celtic boss was brought in late in the campaign on a short-term basis and has yet to clarify his intentions beyond the summer, leaving the club facing key decisions at multiple levels. If Dunfermline can secure both Wanyama and Lennon, it would be a strong signal of intent as they look to rebuild and push further up the championship table next season. What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comments section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.